Hi guys, it's Jake. Wanted to make a quick little video for you talking about restore programming. I've seen some cool things happening in restore class. I've seen some less cool things happening in restore class. Restore is the one class that I teach the same thing pretty much every single week. For the majority of your clientele, they're gonna come in with pain and tension in the same places. So I found a pretty good flow that I like. It's pretty efficient. And it helps get the areas that they need, right? There's a couple releases that I've seen happen in the studio that are not appropriate, either in a group class setting or for the majority of our clientele. So I want to try to give you some alternatives to those today. I'm going to knock through these as quick as I can, so this isn't one of those like full hour-long videos. We're going to try to keep it tight. If I do something to one side, obviously you can do it to another. I like to start at the bottom. I like to work my way up. You're going to need a ball. You're going to need the foam roller. I'm going to show you a couple things with the roll down bar for your restore class as well. I like to start with the feet. If you're gonna do the feet, the way to do it is with the ball, not the foam roller. Standing on the foam roller, even holding onto the ballet bar and your workstation, it's not appropriate in the studio, period. It's not appropriate in a one-on-one setting. It's not appropriate in a group class setting. You're gonna get a deeper and better release and massage with the trigger point ball. So the way I like to do it, you're gonna put that ball down on the floor, and you can cue through these exercises however you want, however you think is efficient. Basically what I like to do, I'm gonna put it up here so you can see what I'm doing. I'll start with squiggles. You're just gonna kind of do squiggles all over your foot. Just introduce the ball into the plantar musculature. Then I like to do straight lines. You're gonna work from your heel up to your big toe, back to your heel, up to the next toe. You're allowing yourself to get deeper into the work across the arch of your foot. And of course, standing up nice and tall, it's gonna give you a little bit more pressure. If this is too intense, you can take it seated. Rolling straight forward, rolling straight back, spanning from one toe to the next, to the next, to the next, big toe out to pinky toe, then back in. It's gonna allow you to work the full surface area of your foot. From there, ball of the foot goes down, heel up on the ball. You can do the twist. Get a nice massage here, like so. Vice versa, heel down, ball of the foot and the toes wrap around the ball, really curl your toes around, and you're gonna do windshield wipers with your toe. It's gonna give you a really nice massage. It's gonna work a little bit deeper. Feels good. Play around, see what else you can discover. The ball is the way to do the feet. Working up from there, you can get into those calves. You can sit on the roller. Hot dog would be parallel to your spine. I'm gonna start in hamburger, perpendicular to the spine. Legs long over the roller. I'm gonna flex the feet so I can lengthen and stretch the muscles that are working over the roller. Anytime it can extend the muscle that's being worked, it's gonna allow you to get a little bit deeper. So as I lift myself up, palms down, if there's too much tension in the wrist, they can come on down, they can take a break, they can even hold hand weights here to hold their wrist in a more neutral position. You're not gonna be here for long. Pick your butt up, you're gonna roll forward, you're gonna roll back. If that range of motion is too small, you can have them divided into two. Roll your lower calf, scoot yourself forward, roll your upper calf. If you want to get more pressure, flex the feet. You're going to take both toes to one side, roll forward, roll back. Same thing, other direction. If you want even more pressure, you can do that same thing. One foot crossed on top of the other, roll straight, roll one diagonal, roll the other diagonal. If you've never tried it, give it a shot. I bet you're going to feel tension you didn't know you had. Pull that foam roller above the knee. I never want to see anyone roll over the soft pocket of the knee. There's, for the majority of our clientele, there's a couple nerve things happening back there that you just want to avoid. So pull that foam roller up, you're gonna get your hamstrings. Real easy way to do this. Just working through those main hamstrings. If you want to get more pressure, you can take one leg up into a figure four again. Again, typically I don't spend too much time here. Then you're gonna go, I like to go ahead, sit on the foam roller, Feet wide, hands come together. You can press the knees away. You can roll over the surface area of the tushy. Roll over those glutes. It feels really nice. If you want to get deeper, soles of the feet come together, open your knees wide. You can roll, actually find a little bit of a piriformis release here. Feels real good. From here, what I normally have them do is I'll extend one leg straight to the wall in front of you. Same hand comes up on top of that knee, free hand reaches away, open the chest, find a twist. You can roll your outer hamstrings here, where a lot of people carry a lot of tension because they don't realize that it's there. So as you roll forward and back, you can even roll into your outer glutes here, feels really nice. Don't let the hips stack. I'm gonna stress that a couple times. I don't think it is safe, I don't think it is appropriate to roll your IT band in the studio. What you do in a one-on-one setting, that's up to you, but in a group class, for the majority of our clientele, your IT band is built up of connective collagen, okay? It's not a muscle. The IT band really just holds the leg together, and we like to keep it that way. So if we can find that muscle release, if we can find that massage in the muscles on either side of your IT band, that you're still gonna get that same effect. I always like to include some kind of an IT band stretch in the, if I incorporate a legs and straps into my restore, which is not always. You're gonna come on down from there. That's pretty much the entire back of your leg. If you wanna get the front of your leg, starting down at your shin, we can get into your anterior tibialis. Take the dowel rod, you're gonna roll up and down the front of your shin. Feels really nice. Okay, a lot of people don't realize how tight they are here. But every time you pick the ball of your foot up off the floor, every time you lift your toe, that's your anterior tibialis. She gets tired. If your clients come in complaining about knee pain, give them one of these, then have them take that bar. You're gonna do 2 inches all the way around your knee, just like this. And I guarantee you, their knees are gonna feel way better when they walk out the door, okay? Moving up the body into quads. This is where I actually like to hop onto the reformer. So you're gonna go ahead and grab that foam roller. I place it right on the carriage. I've loaded up all the springs onto the reformer. It's not really necessary. You can keep it on 2 red and a blue, your standard footwork setting. But it's up to you. I've also lowered the foot bar to keep things a little bit more comfortable for the majority of our clientele here. You're gonna plant your foot to the floor. I'm working on the box today because I'm so high up off the ground. Hands find the roller. You're gonna essentially find a runner's lunge or an Eve's lunge position. I'm gonna go ahead, lay myself down into the roller, and I'm gonna use this lunge to roll out my quad, okay? This is a much easier way to get into this. You're gonna find a much better release here than if you were trying to work quads down on the mat. It's much more comfortable for the mass majority of our clientele. Great thing about working here, again, working through those 3 dimensions. They're your, the medial quad, the interior, and the exterior, avoiding the IT band. If you wanna work your inner thighs, you can take the back leg into external rotation. I'm gonna turn my head away from my standing leg, and I'm gonna roll forward and back. Okay, you're gonna be able to work your inner thigh. From there, you can turn your toe into internal rotation. I'm gonna cross my toe towards the camera, around my body. I'm gonna turn my head towards my standing leg. I'm gonna roll forward and back. If you've never tried this one, I guarantee you're gonna like it. Again, I wanna be careful that this hips are not allowed to stack directly on top of each other, okay? If people try to bring it up to here, please have them bring their foot, bring their foot right back down onto the floor. Another thing I like to do here, find the O spot, okay? The spot that makes your eyebrows go crazy. What you're gonna do, you're gonna hold it there, bend your back leg, extend it, holding the roller in the tension, in the spot where the tension sits. You can bend your knee, you can extend. If you still want more, you can keep your knee bent. You can go into windshield wipers here. Beautiful, just like that. Feels really nice. Again, you would do the same thing on either side. The beauty about working up here on the reformer, you can adjust the placement of the roller, okay? I can bring that roller forward, I can push the roller back. That means I can really work my low quads. That means I can also bring that roller forward. I can actually roll out my frontal hip flexor here, okay? Feels like absolutely delicious. Last couple legs things I want to show you. Piriformis release, psoas release. If those hip flexors are really tight, you're gonna have your client, I'm gonna do it up here on the box so you can actually see what I'm doing. You're gonna have your client lay down on their stomach, okay? Flat on the mat, ideally, and not on the box. What you're gonna do, you're gonna ask them to place that ball in the little crevice that points downtown, okay? What I do is I say take your thumb to the corner of your pelvis, 2 fingers on the front of your thigh, slide inward until you feel that little divot. Place the ball there, you're gonna lay down on top of it. Now when they're laying down on it, it's very much a princess and the pea situation. The working leg is the side with the ball. You're saying take a leg pull here, lift and lower. Leg can come up, it can do circles. Leg can go down, chest can come up, find a swan, and you can rock from side to side. You can hold that swan, find that leg pull to get an even deeper release. Play around with it, try it yourself before you ask a client to do it. Piriformis, it's this guy right out here. What I tell them, you're gonna reach around, you're gonna grab your ass. Right in between where your first finger and your thumb land, that's where your ball wants to sit. Take a seat on it, okay? Again, very much a princess in the pea situation. It's hard to tell if your clients have it in the right place. If you walk around and kind of between looking at their face and looking at the alignment of their hips, you can try to get kind of an idea. If you can feel it yourself and try to describe that feeling, that's the best way to get them into these positions. You do not have to include these 2 releases in your restore class. What you do in class, that's up to you. I'm just trying to give you some tools for your toolbox. Hands can support on the mat. Again, you can take that leg pull. Feels good. Let that knee come in, do circles. Feels a little bit more spicy, okay? You really want to release, you're gonna take your leg, cross it over, open to a figure 4, and that's the doozy, okay? And they're probably just gonna wanna hang out here for a second. You can cue them to lower and lift their knee. Finding the release, these 2 releases, psoas and piriformis especially, it's about putting your body or putting the ball into the trigger point and moving into the muscle. It's not an active massage, okay? They're 2 different techniques that you're gonna wanna differentiate between, that you're gonna wanna explain the difference between when you're cueing this to your clients. There is a way you can use the ball to get a release for your traps. If you have questions about that, come talk to me when you see me in the studio. Moving up the body again. So we've done your legs essentially now. Oh, one more for your hips. If they're really complaining about tight hips, tight in here, have them lay down on their stomach. Roller comes into hot dog, it's parallel to the spine. I'm gonna put it next to my hip. Like a dog to a fire hydrant, you're gonna put your knee up and you're gonna roll into it, roll off of it. A lot of times, problem is they're all the way down here, they don't have anywhere to go. If they pull that roller in their knee higher, they're gonna think side to side. Great thing about working here is you can actually, again, you can take the opportunity to span if you find that spot of tension. If they're complaining about tension in their lower back, I don't want you to roll out the lower back, not in a group class. I don't think it's appropriate for the majority of our clientele. There's some sensitive things back here that we'd like to avoid, i.e. your kidneys, okay? I don't want you to pinch a kidney in my class. So what I have you do is a sacrum release. Instead, you're gonna lay down on your back and bend the knees, plant the feet to the floor, squeeze the butt, lift your hips, take that foam roller, slide it underneath the sacrum. The sacrum, I say, is the flat bony part at the top of your butt crack. If you're on your butt cheeks, you're too low. If you're in the small of your back, you're too high. If they are in the small of their back, that means they're gonna start to wrap and go into hyperextension. That can be dangerous for the majority of our clientele because this is such a tight diameter that you're trying to wrap your spine around. It's not gonna feel good. But if they can get that foam roller in the right place, they can lift one knee, they can do circles, okay? They can pull that knee across the body. They can get an IT band stretch here, right? And they can get a little bit of a release across their lower spinal erectors. What I really like to do is, again, they can keep it to these knee circles. They can keep it into this big leg circle. You can even take it up and across, again, into that IT band stretch. You can, ooh, that's just tight for me today. Okay, play around there, see what you can discover. But what I like to do, take your hands out east to west, plant palms to the floor, letter T. Both legs lift up to tabletop, and both legs can, yeah, that just feels really good. It's essentially your hip twist, but it's a focus massage. If that's too much balance, have them lift on up to the tips of their toes, gives them that same level of pressure, but keeps them a little bit more stabilized. That's really all I'm gonna do here. After I finish that, I'm gonna lift the hips, remove the roller, come on, sit down. After I've completed the release across the sacrum, that's when I'll take it up into the rib cage. Again, we've skipped the lower back. If the lower back, if you want to get something for your lower back, you can grab the dowel rod again. Dowel rod goes right up against your back. Forearms are gonna pull in. You can use your forearms to roll your lower back. This is as much pressure as I want you to put on your lower back in the studio. What they do at home, that's up to them. What you do in a one-on-one, it's at your discretion. It's your client at the end of the day. But the great thing here, what they're really gonna love, one hand is gonna wrap, the other palm is gonna push. I'm gonna take it off to the side, and I'm gonna slide up and down. This is where they're really gonna get a release that they're gonna enjoy, okay? And you can, again, do that to both sides. Play around, try it yourself before you ask a client to do the same. Bend the knees, plant the feet to the floor. I'm gonna place the foam roller right up against the back of the rib cage. I'm gonna lean back on it, okay? Holding myself in forward flexion is gonna extend all the muscles across the back. It's gonna allow those muscles to lengthen, so that way the foam roller can penetrate a little bit deeper. Holding that forward flexion, you're gonna squeeze your butt, lift your hips. You're gonna allow yourself to use your feet to push forward and back. That's what I tell people. If you say, roll back onto your roller, a lot of people are gonna go try to round back over the roller. Use your feet, push yourself back, push yourself forward. I don't want you to go below those lower ribs, okay? Again, maintaining that forward flexion of the spine is gonna allow that foam roller to really get in there deep and do its job. Hand comes across to the body. If you wanna get out into your lats, you can go ahead and take the opposite hand across to the floor behind you. You're gonna turn your head, turn your chest into a little bit of a twist, and you're gonna roll out your angel wings. If you use the phrase angel wings, that's a good representation to give people the idea of what you wanna do. Obviously, you'll do that same thing to either side. It can be a lot of pressure for some people, so it's not for everybody, but it's much, much safer, much, much nicer than trying to roll your lats out like this, okay? This is a good way to crack a rib for the majority of our clientele, and I'd like you to avoid that when programming your Restore class. So we've gotten your lower back, we've gotten your mid back, we've gotten your lats. Let's talk traps. If I want to get central traps, turn your roller parallel to the spine. I'm gonna bend my knees, plant my feet to the floor, and I'm gonna squeeze my butt, lift right up onto it. It's a very quick, fluid motion. You can rock from side to side here. You can even roll from side to side here if balance and dexterity allow. Feels kind of good. I normally don't hang out here for too long because I'll get into those upper traps. I'm gonna go ahead and let that foam roller come right up against the back of my rib cage, fingertips interlace on the neck this time. I'm gonna slide down to the very tops of my shoulders. If I feel my fingertips touch the roller, I've gone too far. What I want you to do, you're gonna put your hips down, you're gonna squeeze your butt, lift your hips up. Lower down, you're essentially hinging, it's a hinge bridge, right? But it's just enough of a range of motion for your foam roller to work over your upper traps without compromising your neck, without compromising your shoulders, okay? You can hold here if you wanna get a little bit of a delt release. Most people aren't gonna come in complaining that their delts are tight. It's normally that, oh, I'm so stressed at work kind of situation. That's pretty much your whole back. A lot of times I will end with a little bit of a body scan, a little bit of Shavasana kind of situation. I'll lay flat back. Because my body's flat on the floor, it is safe to put the roller on my neck. I'm not putting direct pressure into the cervical spine. And you can just shake your head no. This is where I'll say relax every muscle in your body one at a time, and that's typically how I like to end my restore class. But again, that's up to you. Let's see. We did your legs, we did your back, we did your neck. That's a lot of stuff. Couple more things that you might want to play with in class. For my friends who sit at a desk all day, you can roll out the palm, right? Foam the trigger point ball on top of the box. You can work the palm. Again, you can work, just like we did on the foot, you can work the grooves between the fingers. Okay, you can go webbing to heel, webbing to heel. You can work in and out. That feels really good. Try to carry that along the length of the forearm. Okay, all the way up, all the way down. If you're working your forearm, take your thumb to the ceiling. Take your palm to the ceiling. People don't realize how sore and tight this gets, but I guarantee you this is gonna feel pretty good too. This is gonna feel pretty good. Once you've got your forearm pretty loose, you can go ahead and switch from the ball, you can switch to the roller. You can put your elbow up there, you can roll the tricep, okay? You can put that roller up in the armpit. You can reach fingers to the ceiling, you can close the chest. You can open the chest. You can close the chest, you can even peel into those pectorals, okay? Really great for helping to relieve some types of shoulder pain, great for spreading hydration across the chest. There's certain populations of women that really can benefit from that kind of thing. There is another one that you can work here where my old master trainer explained this one to me. The breast would kind of lift up onto the roller. You're working like the under boob kind of region. I'm gonna extend the outside leg and you can actually look down at the floor. You can open out. It gets a little bit deeper, it's a little bit more pressure, but again, some ladies are really gonna love that. Try it yourself before you ask a client to do it. That's a lot of good things to play with in your restore class. If you have any questions about what's appropriate to include, what's not appropriate to include, do you have a good release for this specific issue, for this specific part of the body, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. We can find a time to chat and I can try to answer your questions as best I can. Thank you guys for all you do and I'll talk to you soon.